Hey you guys. I'm sitting out on the deck having my lunch. Squash and zucchini right out of the pot. And I'm watching out there because the other ducks have come to the big pond. The ones that are always here by the barn, and they've been using the little pond over there by the driveway, Mom and Dad's driveway. They've come to the big pond with the other two white ducks and the babies. And I can see the babies up on the other side of the bank by my mulberry tree. My mulberry tree is starting to drop mulberries. I go out there almost every day when I go out to feed the goats. Even if I don't get it on camera, I do walk out there. And I picked up a few the other day that had dropped on the outside of the fencing that I put around it to keep the goats from eating the bark off the tree. And Molly was eating the berries out of my hand. It was really cute. My hand was just stained red. If y'all remember last year, I put a tarp down under that tree, and I didn't do anything but just hand feed the chickens. They didn't have to work for it. Not the chickens, the guineas. So, maybe chickens too. So I haven't done the tarp yet, and I need to hurry up and do it. Although my only tarp I put up on the side of Molly's stall to keep the blowing rain in off of her, because that little stall is so tall. The stall is so tall that I put that tarp up there to keep the blowing rain in off of her. And I haven't taken it down yet because we've been having these little pop-up storms. So I need to, I guess, run to Walmart and get me a tarp. But I want to lay a big tarp under that tree again and gather up whatever mulberries I can. I love mulberry jelly, and I've made it many times, but I didn't have goats out there bothering me then. I didn't have guineas that were eating my mulberries then. I didn't have chickens that were free ranging all over the place. So it's making it a little bit more difficult to harvest. Whether I go, and used to I didn't have that fence all the way around it. I'd just drive up on my golf cart, and I'd literally stand on my golf cart and pick above my head until I had a small little can of berries picked. Then I would come back and make me some jelly. Usually I get 2 or 3 little jars of jelly, sometimes more. And I remember giving some to people at work. And but I haven't done it in a couple of years. I was going to do it last year, and the guineas ate them. So this year I've been watching, and they're just starting. They were red, because they start out red, just like a blackberry. They start out red, and they slowly turn a dark, purpley black color. And there's still a whole lot in that tree. I mean, the tree is covered in red ones, but there were some scattered black ones on the ground that had not been eaten by ants or bugs yet. I even ate a couple right off the ground, just blew them off and ate them. But Molly loved them. So I'm waiting for Dad. He's going to come, and my nose is just running today. He's going to come, and or he's supposed to come at 2. I needed him. I have to pinpoint Dad down to a time, because otherwise you don't know what time it might be, and he may not even show. So he said he was on his phone. I guess he was answering comments. I don't think he was making a video. He wasn't making a video because he was just looking at his phone. And I'd already talked to him. I went down after I got back from the Tractor Supply this morning. I went down to put up some curtains for Mom. She called me. And while I was there, I thought, well, I can either wait for Daniel to get home, which I already need 2 trees cut from him, And then he'll have to come in his tractor with his forks, or Minky's cables are supposed to be here today, that 100-foot long cable. And so I don't know what time it will come, and it may not even show up till late this evening, and it means I won't get her hooked up out there till tomorrow. But I got to thinking, if Dad's got his new tractor, he just has to put the forks on it. And he said if Jake is using the forks right now, he'll just come in Jake's tractor. So I don't know. But I told him I needed to move the duck house down to that. Remember I said I was going to move it down to that shady area at the end of Tony's house. Sort of, I mean, it'd still be in my field by the pond, but it would be at the end of Tony's house where it's shady. And then I'm going to, which I just got to thinking, I didn't order any, and I didn't even think about picking up any eye hooks. And I don't think I have any. I can go look out in my barn. I have a drawer that I keep those kinds of things in. But I don't think I've ordered or purchased any eye hooks in forever. If I have any, it would be that if you look up at the top up there where the swing hangs, there are eye hooks up there holding the chain to the swing. I don't know if y'all could see that or not. Anyway, I don't know if I have any more. Like, did I order more than 2? Was I going to use maybe a different size and I have them left over out there? I don't know. So I'll have to go look. I did walk it with my, the goats chewed my tape measure in half yesterday. I had bought 100, it's not metal, that's it. It's a clothy type material, almost plasticky cloth. 100-foot roll with, it's like you roll it up like this. I don't remember where I bought it at. But I had never used it. I literally had to pull the tag off of it, this cardboard wrapper around it, to walk off and make sure I could get 100 foot to one of them, that cluster of pine trees over there. And while I'm stretched, I've got it hooked to the fence up here by the duck house. And then I start walking. And all of a sudden, I get to the tree and I've got it pulled tight. And then here comes all the goats. And I see that I do make 100 foot. It's perfect 100 foot. It's actually not even. I think it was more like 98. So I don't know. I may have to go to the far side or to a tree further back. But anyway, it does make it. So I'm winding it back up, but I'm walking toward it so it doesn't lay down on, because it's hooked to the fence. I'm having to walk toward it. And Molly comes running up, so I get a little sidetracked with her. Even though I'm holding it and still winding, she's like all around me. You know how she does. Next thing you know, it starts coming toward me on its own. And Frodo's standing there chewing on it. He's already chewed it in half. Part of the tape is on the ground and the other part's reeling into me. So I brought all of it in and I lost 3 inches by having to overlap the 2 sections and put staples in it. Goats, 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 goats. Anyway, Dad's gonna come move the duck house for me at some point. I pinpointed him down to 2 o'clock. And I have 1:44. So we'll see how long it takes him to come down here anywhere near. He said he has to feed up and something else. And I said, so 2 sounds like that would give you enough time to do all those things. You can do it by 2. Mom was laughing because I'm trying to pinpoint him down to a time. Anyway, so I just thought, well, you know what? I'll come have lunch outside. That way, if I hear the tractor, I know I'll be out here when he gets here. And then I thought I would just address something there was several comments about Bree's porch, and I could get lumber for, I'm assuming because my video was on the chicken run, but nothing of Bree's porch was 20 foot long. Her porch wasn't 20 foot long. It was like 12. And Dad said Jake had already cut it in half, so there's just like 2 halves of a porch down there. But I did want y'all to also know, and it's hard, if you could use a deck just the way, like I thought, why didn't they just, my opinion, why didn't they just cut the 4 legs off where it becomes you could literally sit that 12 by, I think it was like 8 by 12 porch. It would become a deck. You could literally put 4, 5, 6 blocks under it, and it would be a deck close to the ground. Because see, I just told her the other day that I'm not going to use this little deck that I built by the pool, where it has that whole long slit in it for the ladder to go in, because I'm using this big ladder, and it won't fit in there anyway. So that deck is just sitting there, not used for anything. And when I first put the deck out there, and I'm going to turn around so y'all can see it. Well, you know what? Hold on. When I first built that little deck, you can see that post right there. I had that screwed in right on that corner up, and I had one of these hooks on it, and I had a plant hanging, really pretty, like a plant that needs sun all day. I'm going to have to move this one, because see, these are the begonias. They have to have full sun. And now that this tree is completely leafed out, this one too, they're going to start losing the sun out here. And this one out there by the pool will do really good. And I had a hook on that post. I had that screwed down into that little deck. I had some L brackets screwed in holding it. And then I had a hook on it that was holding a flower. And it looked really pretty. And then on the far side, right before you step off that far side, was that brown poolside trunk thing, like that one over there. But the brown one that I moved out for packages to go in, that was my poolside trunk or chest, whatever you want to call it. And I kept the bleach and the tablets and the skimmer, and I kept all that kind of stuff in it, along with a little tote full of, in fact, it's over here. It's not a tote, but it's the bleach tablets, the chlorine tablets were in there. One year when I bought a big one, right now they're in this one, the small one. I still have a few in that smaller one. But one year I bought the big thing, and I was keeping, once that was used up, I cleaned it out and washed it out so the bleach smell, because the chlorine smell was very strong in it. And then I put the kids' goggles and things like that in that little thing. But it all sat in that little thing beside the pool. But since the ladder is over here and I don't have a chest beside the pool itself, I told Bree, I said, I've got a little, because I told her, it was when we were working on her chicken coop. And I said, Bree, why is your feed around back behind your chicken coop when you feed inside your coop? And she said, I don't remember, she said she moved it there when her dad was mowing, or Daniel moved it when he was mowing. And I said, what you need to do is put a little porch right here, just a small little porch that you can step up on, and your feed bucket will sit on it. You can keep the weed grass killer sprayed around it like Daniel, because Daniel sprays everywhere. He doesn't have anything that grows up on stuff like I do. I said, your dad can keep it sprayed really good, and he won't have to get close to it with his mower and just go around it, and you have like a little porch like I have out there for the goats. And when I go into the feed room. And she said, yeah. And I said, I have. And I said, you know what? I have a little deck. And see, you can see where it's got an indentation in it where it was cut sort of to go around the pool when it was the smaller pool. But I can come right off the side and cut those straight. And it just becomes a straight side on that back side. And then the center hole will be easy to fix, because it's literally like a 1x3 that would just drop down in it and seal up the hole. So it'd be a perfect little deck, and it's made out of all treated stuff. Anyway, but I was telling Dad a while ago, I said, man, when they took her little porch down, I said, instead of tearing it off, they could have just cut it off at the legs, and it could have been like a deck anywhere. I said, she could have used it at her feed room. I said, her chicken coop. Her chicken coop needs a little porch on it so she can sit her feed buckets out there her feed barrels. You know, mine sit out. Mine look junky. I'm going to clean all that up really nice at some point. But, you know, you don't want too much, like, you don't want too much stuff around your chicken coops because you'll get snakes sleeping underneath them. But, you know, I have a couple of bricks that are stacked up that I need to sit out into a little platform and sit my feet up on them. But, and then I need to move the little blue one out of the way because it's, you know, it's just something Daddy gave me a long time ago. It had some kind of numbers on it. I don't know where it came. I feel like I want to say it was like military grade something. Like how you go to those, what are those places called? Like you can see them. They're like resale shops for military stuff. Oh my gosh, my mind's drawing a blank. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even military, but I feel like it was like green, like army green when I first got it. Anyway, I'm waiting for Dad. It's almost 2. And I'm going to sit here and finish eating my lunch. And then I've got to get my feed and bring it around. And I see somebody driving around. Is that Dad? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know where he's going on his side-by-side. He ain't coming here. I don't think. Can y'all see him coming down the driveway? Well, he's got 15 minutes to do what he's got to do and get over here and help me. All right. I love you guys, and I'll show y'all what we get done in a little bit. All right, bye.